Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to be friendly and cause them no harm. I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to be friendly and cause them no harm. Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to be friendly and cause them no harm.
It's Navia! She's over there! Hey, Navia! Are you okay?
you're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1, and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded on an aquabus. But before we knew it, water started pouring out from everywhere. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, I've asked the people there to leave as soon as possible. No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our best to help evacuate the residents. We still haven't completed the head count, but we'll have some numbers soon.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just happened was a bad dream.
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before...
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a—
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver, they won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater.
What should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not?
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever you visit your father's grave.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right. I'll remember your requests. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone. Malus and Silver have helped me so much. But by contrast, I could do nothing for them. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Khan, Burnett, Giverny, so...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. The overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another. Malus and Silver were not the price for saving.
You're right. What you said just now was pretty amazing.
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter, but that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't forget your kindness.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your as Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for other salvation. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Navia. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate. Fortunately, I've never been one for such opinions.
So, you're one?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of, and the children need my attention. By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just...
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearth's intelligence network with you. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent, so my people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck.
So that's why the Fatui were all—
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you. Which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh! That somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right?
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some—
Well, I'm sad, yes. But there's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. As my father's successor, I must live up to the hopes he had in me. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Sil—
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. All right, the ruins are to the—
Okay, the three of us will handle it.
Alley-oop!
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Time to testify. Justice will prevail!
Up to it, Manzai!
Floor here isn't safe.
Settle down!
This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be any help. Don't get my mind wrong. We're not saying you're useless. It's just that...
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you. That complicates things.
In that case, do you want to wait for us here?
The water levels here are unstable. I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for... Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge!
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to get you?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Oh. Was I sleeping?
Yes, it would appear so.
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go out for a walk.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. I haven't had a nap today yet. Have I? This is a familiar feeling, yet something's a little strange.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had a debt dispute with him, and we'd resolved the matter not long ago.
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right. Yes. I remember now.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus, and Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. Why, I wasn't even the guarantor for that person. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone down and get them to listen to what you have to say.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Burnett, what was it that you wanted to give to Miss Navia again?
Oh, yes. One moment, I have Miss Navia. These are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have done without your help, so this is a little token of our appreciation.
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them.
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait. Something seems to be off here. Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, you're...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to me. I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have it.
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did you...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you.
My trial? Wait.
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now.
Oh?
Look, it's Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Ocarina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many... And as for the judge... huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind me?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rasula. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you for help, you responded. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought...
Wait a moment.
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand. We are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty.
Huh? What are you saying? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me—
Oh, well, if that's—
How wonderful! I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's—
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of—
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by—
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely— Please do not mistake her actions.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of— Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful— Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, everyone shall meld— Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once lost?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that is—
My head—
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurts. I remember now. Everything that seemed— Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will—
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority. Don't let them escape!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses.
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia.
Silence!
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us behind or something?
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I
What is it?
I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps there's something we could chat about?
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about, right?
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like this and then have nothing to talk about?
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the fortress of Meropide.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then. So, Neverlet, you're probably quite the swimmer, huh?
Yes, of course.
This isn't going anywhere. Let's try something else. How did you find these ruins? Did the knave tell you?
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents evacuate. They had even transported a large quantity of supplies to the area. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
You asked for it! Stop right there!
Ready.
Let the mighty be humbled!
overlooked. Shoot on sight.
Silence!
Seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Yeah.
Be sanctified.
Sorry, pal.
Drop your weapons! Hands where I can see them!
Justice is blindsided.
Up to it, Manzai.
Stop right there! Justice will into the shadows.
A duel is a battle of wills, and the sword an extension of the duelist's spirit. If your heart recoils in fear, then your sword may as well be in its scabbard, because you will not wield it effectively against your foe.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that...
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But Does he mean that Fontaine...
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind...
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the
water? The fourth image. I know this one.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates. This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image...
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? Also, I'm so...
But...
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here.
You still have...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting a little scared now that it's come to this.
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily. Which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition. All right. I'll be on my way then.
We're
Welcome back.
Yay! And there's good... Hyman's already starting to...
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh? Mona?
Seriously?
Still, we did...
Well, I have... Why did you think I would... Well, I used to have my own. There was nothing for it. Nope. Although it is used...
Wow!
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well. Astromancer.
Whoa!
My name means...
Thrice as great?
I know, right?
Talk about it.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so...
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not fun...
Well, I was born...
Oh, that's a good...
There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. The invitation was sent quite a...
What do you make of...
What I can tell you, I'm afraid that... But on the flip side...
A visionary?
Of course. The old hag could do it.
Thanks, Mona.
Oh, well.
That's the greatest...
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are. Right, but we were able to recruit... Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling... But it's time to get up.
Ad Astra...
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that seemed to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. Huh. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and use on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even perform some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So are we going hunting together?
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
It's been a tough few days. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks... it's hard to say. After all, you're the most reliable person... did you just port... Paimon's never seen that
Don't be frightened. What is... And yet, even you feel confused. Precisely. Call me... the prophecy.
What?
People call such things fate, and it is written. Just as are the things that...
What?
I believe that you understand, right? Ultimately,
The voice. Hey, it's you!
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively
Mona!
Fine, just not all fun. Why, yes, I'm in full
That's right!
Ah, yes. About... Huh? Goodness gracious.
She said that even...
The Hex and Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary, but I've never...
Whoa.
Their abilities are...
Well, it's not like...
Yes, she was. Perhaps it is... Traveler?
Oh, we're...
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has offered, but even so, perhaps that's what En was trying to tell. I did originally.
Huh. You do have a point.
There, it was worth trying, I suppose.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has... My recent attempts to enter the fort... Thus, did an Outlander friend become... So while the fortress is in tier... Journalist Charlotte's biggest... Huh. Charlotte took so many out... She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything. Ugh, seriously? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices. It was so delicious the last time.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes! Alright, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with the sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
What did you want exactly?
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick mora!
Oh, you needn't worry about that. It's alright though, I've set aside.
Really?
You're almost.
Oh, Paimon!
Still, what brings you here?
A friend of ours met you a while.
Ah, so you know. So she mentioned me?
She said that you're a
Nice.
Huh?
So, oh, of course it doesn't. That was.
Yeah.
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then.
Oh, and that.
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! Ooh, so much to.
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine.
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pid. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do? We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing? Feels like he'll grow more. But it's still better than the fortress of...
So the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais...
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House.
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and loudly accusing her of doing and before she could respond, the crowd continued to grow in protest against the high.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally...
I agree. People...
So what happened after that?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, the Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had...
So...
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her? Good. Monsieur Nervillet...
Don't worry. This is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, all right then.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard it would be hard for her to... Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh? In that case, there's not a moment to lose. This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. Ah, that's Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
What was meant to happen did happen. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up. I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than... Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's...
So, it is you, blonde traveler from another...
Farina, you were crying just now.
What do you mean, tear stains? Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? They even dare to tout their Archon! I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marechaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too. Of course not!
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules.
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her. This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place? I suppose haste is warranted. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Yep, that's
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Yeah. A quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Neverlette's made some emergency plans so that...
Yeah, but the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for... I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea, but all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, we cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean fine indeed. I've thought about giving up. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rule. But just now, it all became clear to me. As long as the final moment hasn't come, don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering, don't take any of what I just said seriously.
Come on! Paimon could have...
Cher, that's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado...
So, this is what it is. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial?